Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and this is a different video than I normally put on this channel. This channel's normally wrestling, but I've been really enjoying the WNBA for, honestly, my entire life. I went to Sparks games growing up in Los Angeles, and then obviously living now in the middle of nowhere, there is no teams, but I kind of always stayed in that realm of watching. And then last year I watched, very hardcore of trying to watch as many Sparks games as possible. And I had a thing last year. I was like, hey, I should just try to watch every Sparks game. Like even if I just have to rewatch them later or something, just not watch ESPN and just watch all of them. But this year, I was like, I should actually do that. But and I thought about doing the Sparks, but Cameron Brink is gone or like hurt right now. And then I was thinking like, oh man, I should have done Caitlin Clark last year because it was her start of her year. And I was like, but why not? We got Paige. God, I know I was gonna get her last name right or wrong, and I was like, I'm gonna say it, and then it's not gonna come out, but it's Bueckers, and now I remember. It's like I'm really bad with names. Like I can think of the name and say the name and pronounce the name, and then when I have to say the name, it just blanks. But Paige Bueckers obviously has been just this phenomenal player in UConn. I remember seeing her win the national championship like just last year, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be wrong, but I think she's won it one other time. I could be wrong about that. Um, South Carolina is always just absolutely dominating, also in there and a lot of other teams. But I thought it would be kind of cool to cover her entire rookie year. I thought I'd kind of go from probably game to game. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, obviously, there's a lot that could happen. But I think there's 40 games in the year, so that's a lot of videos. And if they make the playoffs, that's even more. But I don't know. It seemed like a fun little series to do. So we'll go into game one. Obviously, I know not a lot about the Wings, to be honest, altogether, because I normally, like I said, I watched a lot of Sparks games, and I've seen other teams here and there, but like it's mainly just the Sparks, and I know a lot about the Sparks, but I don't know a ton of the players on here. But man, this team altogether looks pretty solid so far. And obviously, with Paige coming in, there could be a lot of stuff that she adds to this team. So we'll jump into her first stats. Obviously, this was her debut. And honestly, I feel like, in a way, I would say it was kind of lackluster on the offensive side. But the thing is, if you really look at it, almost everybody on the team was like that. I mean, the highest point getter was 16, and that was their number one player. So it's like, you can't really do much when like Minnesota absolutely just destroyed on the defensive side. Like they just locked them up. That third quarter was a death sentence because the game was actually pretty competitive by halftime. And then about I think like 2-3 minutes into that third quarter, they just absolutely annihilated them. They were on runs after runs after runs, and they could not do anything. But Paige played 30 minutes. She played the second most on their team. They obviously had Maddie come off the bench. I think she had 31 minutes. But Paige was 3 for 10 on her field goals, which isn't phenomenal. But again, like this is her first game. 0 for 2 on the 3-point line. She did get all her free throws, always good. The thing I did really like about Paige's game, she had quite a few rebounds. Number one on the team yesterday with that. 7 on the board. She had 6 on the offense and 1 on the defense, which I thought was like pretty good for her, like being, I'm assuming, kind of like that natural point guard. She was kind of in there getting a lot of ball control, which is good. And she did have a couple assists too, not the greatest, but the team, like I said, it was just struggling to get that in general because the highest person again only had 4, so like there wasn't a lot, and her differential out there was really awful too. But again, I just feel like the other team Minnesota is just Minnesota. Like they're always a phenomenal team out there, and they didn't even have other starters, and they still put up some really good numbers. Obviously, with you can't really defeat a team that has a person in with 34 points and also a 25-point getter. But I thought it was a pretty solid debut for her. I definitely don't rate this as probably the best debut ever. I really feel like Candace Parker's debut with the LA Sparks, I think, is still one of the best debuts of all time. I mean, she had fun, I think, like 30 plus points, and obviously just had a great rookie season, I think, in general. But I do feel like Paige can turn the next to the next page. I was trying to think of a different word not to say that way, but I did say that. Obviously, this team is I would almost say like they're kind of like rebuilding because obviously they did have the number one pick and they are trying to get some new pieces together. But I do think they have some good pieces. I don't think this is going to be a complete um, like fever situation with Caitlin Clark coming in. It felt like she had a lot to prove because obviously being the number one pick, but also just a lot of just stuff going on in general with her. But I do feel like this was a struggle of an offensive of like an offensive day, but I think her defense definitely made it a lot better. I'd probably put this game. I don't know if I should rate all of these. I'm guessing like in a normal tier structure from S to D. I would probably put this in a C. I feel like the defense definitely made up for it, but 10 points is not the greatest. But with what the team was, it wasn't that bad. Obviously, losing your debut isn't the greatest, but to losing to the team that was in the finals isn't always the worst thing. They just that third quarter absolutely annihilated them. They got outscored 35-20, and that was just it, honestly, because that was mainly the difference because they lost by 15 points, and that's exactly what that what differential was. So it's like that. But yeah, if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, and subscribe. Just put something down in the chat because this is kind of out of my normal. I'm gonna try to cover every single game and put it up here the day after the game and just talk about it. Kind of keep an open forum if anybody else would like to talk about it too. And we're gonna follow this Dallas Wings season. Their next game is against, I'm pretty sure, Seattle. I'm pretty sure Seattle. I meant to look. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Seattle on Monday. Yeah. Yeah, Seattle on Monday. So it'll be interesting to jump into that and seeing what that goes. So it'll be up on Tuesday then. But yeah, just comment below if you guys are interested in this series and we'll see how it goes. But until next time, this has been Japan. Bye, guys.